I don't know how to begin this. There's been a few attempts at beginning this video and I'm just not sure how to do it. I feel nervous sharing this, but I've never received my high school diploma. I quit high school. And I have taken the GED test before, in my early 20s, but I never finished it, and it's making me emotional. And I never finished it, but I have been taking a GED test, and it means a lot to me, more than what I even realized it would going into it. You know, when I decided to start the GED classes, I was just like, let me finally tie up this loose end, you know, let me just get this over with, you know. But like, I guess, you know, because I'm a very spiritual person, I guess I was avoiding the spiritual aspects of what could be behind the avoidance of it, you know. But I've been facing it, because also I do psychic readings, I do spiritual guidance, and this is my attempt. This is me proving that I can eat my medicine, you know. Because what would I tell a client? I would tell a client, you could do anything. Don't doubt yourself. Go get it. So you tried before and it didn't work out. Okay, try again, you know? So I also wanted to prove to myself that I can finish this, that I can face it, because I had a hard time in high school. I had a very serious surgery on my knee, and that put me back in 9th grade, and I had a lot of issues with depression and self-esteem issues, and I was just a very different Melody, you know. And I want to prove to that Melody that nothing can stop us. I want to prove to this Melody that nothing can stop us, you know. But this has been a part of my inner child healing journey, I suppose. And I wasn't going to share about this at all. I wasn't. But I thought, why the fuck not? Why would I hold this back? You know what I mean? This could inspire somebody else to go get their GED. Or maybe you already have your high school diploma or GED. This could inspire you to go do that course that you've been thinking about. You know, whatever it might be for you. It's never too late. I'm almost 40. I'm going to be 40 this year. So, like, it's not too late. But today I'm taking the science test. Okay, so how it is now is different from when I was in my early 20s and took it. Okay, how it is now is you have language arts, social studies, science, and math. I thought I'd saved the worst for last. Math. So I passed the language arts and I passed the social studies. I passed it pretty good too, if I do say so myself. But the science, we'll see. We'll see. You'll see later in this video. I'm going to remind myself that if I don't pass the science test, it's okay. I could just take it again. I could just learn a little bit more and take it again, you know. But I have a lot of anxiety about this, and I'm just so nervous about it. But the math, I'm not close to being able to take that yet. It's probably going to be a few more months, because I want to do this right. I don't want to rush it. I want to thoroughly learn the things, you know, especially with math, because I've struggled with math a lot, and I really want to thoroughly learn math. So that's, I want to take that extremely serious. So yeah, today is the science test, and if I pass today, then that means I am 75% the way through getting my GED. And it means a lot to me, and I don't know if I'll ever even really use it. I'm not sure, you know. Maybe I will go do some courses or something. I don't know, but it was just a point of proving to myself that I can do it, you know. Sometimes that's all the motivation one needs, you know. Uh, like my brothers asked me, it's like, okay, well, you're doing this, so like, what are you gonna do with it? You know, I don't know. Shit, maybe nothing. But I know one thing is that I'm gonna come out of this more stronger because I will have stuck with it. I will have faced something that I have avoided for a long time, and that means a lot. And so I'm sharing this vulnerability with you, especially if you're somebody who has purchased readings from me, psychic readings or spiritual guidance sessions. I want to be very authentic with you and let you know that I am a very real individual. I'm not perfect. I'm not a know-it-all individual. I'm just sharing my spiritual learnings and my guidance. You know, I'm sharing my perspectives and my intuitive connection. Intuitive connection is one thing that I do definitely have down, but even then, I don't want to get to a point to say I know it all, because then we limit ourselves. We limit ourselves, because if we know it all, then there's nothing else left for us to learn, right? So no, I do not know it all. Hell no. There's so much more left for me to learn. Hell yes. You know, and that's the perspective that I want to take throughout my whole journey of this life and beyond. I want to remind you that if you have been putting off anything, maybe it's your GED, maybe it's a course, maybe it's something else, you know, but just go after it. If it's something that you've been putting off, but something that keeps coming up in your mind, it's probably a sign, because like that was something that kept coming up, like GED, you know, when every time I heard somebody talk about it, or every time I come across, you know, one of my, I don't have kids, all right, but some of my friends, you know, and their kids graduating from high school, you know, it would stick with me a little bit, you know, and it would be that feeling that I'm like, okay, I'm spiritually and emotionally aware enough to know that this is something that's trying to be, this is a message that's trying to get through, and I need to allow it in. And whew, my test is at 1 today. I have my GED class also, but I have to leave the GED class early so that way I can go to the college to take the GED test. And I'm going to ask my teacher, my GED teacher. She's amazing, and she's so patient, and she specializes with special ed, which I think I would have benefited. Honestly, we're just being so for real right now. I think I would have definitely benefited from being in a special ed classroom in high school, but I wasn't. And in middle school, like I would have benefited from that, you know, but I wasn't, you know. But she specializes in, she's doing college courses for special ed, being a special ed teacher, and that just makes her so much more awesome, I think, in my opinion. So it's like definitely divinely led. I was divinely led to that teacher, definitely. I may even show her this video, you know. But we could do anything, and there's so much more for us to learn, and we don't want to limit ourselves, and I don't want to limit myself. I want to learn what there is out there to learn, that I'm guided to learn. And I still sit here and think, why are you doing this video, Mel? You know, And I'm not sure, but I just know the thought keeps coming into my mind to record this in a video. So maybe somebody needs to hear it. You could do it. If I could do it, you could do it. So if you've never got your GED before, if I could do it, you could do it. I put this off for a good long while, and I could do it. You could do it too. I certainly will. I will have that GED. It was originally my intent to be done before the end of this year. Don't think that's going to happen because of the math, you know, but that's okay. That's okay. That is okay. Because 2026, within, you know, the first few months, I'll be taking the math test and I'll be getting that GED and it'll be on, you know. So if you've been putting off anything, go for it. Ask yourself, is this something I really want to do? So why does it keep coming up in your mind if it's not? And I guess to be continued, you know, through the magic of video editing. I'm in the parking lot of the place where I took the test, and I just checked the website and the results are in, and I'm going to post a little screenshot. When I tell you it felt like I was guessing, I was straight up guessing on some of those math ones. Like, I haven't taken the math test yet, so like I'm pretty sure a good amount of the math ones I got wrong, but some of the other ones I was like, what the fuck does that mean, you know? And I felt like I was just guessing. Maybe I just guessed right on a few of those, or maybe me saying that I was guessing is me just not recognizing how I retained the information that I learned. You know, maybe that's a little element of me, you know, just kind of undermining it. So even though I did guess on some of the math ones, I mean, I got it. I passed. And I passed college ready GED, which is awesome. It's awesome, dude. Oh my God. Ah! I'm 75% the way through with my freaking GED. What? And it is just got the math, and I'm gonna pop off 2026 with getting the math test completed, and then I'm gonna start off my year with amazing momentum. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this GED, but like the fact of the matter is I did it. And so I wanted to talk a little bit more on why I put it off. Like, why didn't I just finish it in when I was in my 20s? It's because I was just in a very bad place. I ended up getting into what would end up being a very extremely shitty relationship, and what would end up being, in hindsight, always was a very shitty relationship. But you know, you're young, you think you know, but you really don't know. And it was one of those situations where you think you know, but you just don't know, and you're not seeing the red flags because you're too close to the situation to see the red flags. And so it was one of those situations, but I'm not putting off my part in it. I didn't stick with it. I quit. Choices off of my own making. So I want to prove to myself that I could do these things, that I could push myself, that I could dedicate to myself to things. And I've been doing that with my spiritual journey, with my psychic stuff, I've did that with the love of theology. I've read college level books on theology, and I retain the information. I understand it. So like, I'm not dumb. And like a lot of people, they might think like, oh, well, this person doesn't have their GED, they must be stupid. No, you know, that's not the case. And I just want to say that, just in case you're somebody that's there. Maybe you don't have your GED. You're not dumb. Maybe you have had your GED, or maybe you have finished high school but you never went to college. Dude, it doesn't mean that you're dumb. okay? But I say that also because I recognize how I had saw myself as dumb for a lot. I've been very mean to myself over my and I swear my journey of my 30s, especially the last 5 years, you know, I'm about to be 40 soon, and the last 5 years was me realizing more about myself than I have ever did in my whole life. I've got so much accomplished. I've released old shit, old baggage, kicked people to the curb, and, you know, reinvented myself in much more better ways. And there's only more from here. There's only more from here. And I just really want to reiterate, if I can do this, Mia, if I could do this, you can too. You literally can too. And so like, again, maybe it's not GED for you. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's nothing to do with actual like school learning. Maybe it's just a side thing that you want to learn about, or a hobby, or a spiritual thing. Like, go after it. If it's something that keeps resonating with you, it keeps coming up in your mind or your heart, go for it. Do it. Don't limit yourself. Yes, you can do it. Why not you? You know? And then in high school, I was in a very bad place emotionally. I was not confident in myself. I had a lot of self-confidence issues. I had social anxiety. I had a lot of issues regarding depression, and I was experiencing spiritual things as well, like empathic abilities, for example. Didn't know what the hell that was. I was in ninth grade around 2001, I believe. And so it was a lot going on, and there was a lot of chaoticness, you know, and energetically picking up on all of that, not knowing what it was. This was before you could just go on a social media platform and find other like-minded people who was also experiencing similar things. This was before that, you know what I mean? You could research on the internet, but you couldn't really find your tribe as easily as it is nowadays, you know? So finding the information on psychic things was a little bit more challenging than what it is now. And so it's just, this is a lot more. That would need to be a series of videos. So if you wanted me to go more deeper into that, let me know, and I definitely will. But yes, I passed. Screenshots again. Right? Oh my God. Okay, so thank you for watching all the way through. Don't forget to like this video, and just remember, whatever you have going on, whatever you would like to do, if you feel like you can't do it, if you're, why not, like, maybe you will pass, maybe you will fail, maybe if you feel like you're gonna fail, if it's something that you want to do, so if you fail, that's okay, try again. You know, I was fully willing to just try this test again after a little bit of relearning things. And I still have the math to do. I don't have my GED yet. Still got to go through that math. Thank you for watching.